Being on the road for extended periods of time can be tough on any driver. Long hours and stressful days will make you crave being home in your bed. When looking for a new CDL job, one of the first questions a driver will ask is, how often can I get home? The answer is, it depends on your goals and what type of driver you are. In this video, our expert Aaron will explain which factors determine how often you go home as an over-the-road truck driver.
Hi, I am Aaron with ATS. I have been working with drivers and fleet managers for about 8 years now. One of the most crucial aspects of my position is to ensure that drivers and fleet managers are working together to get home when they need to get home. Today in this video, we'll be talking about how often an OTR truck driver gets home and really what factors influence how often they do get home. The first big one is how often do you get home? Industry average is you're out a week, you're home a day. Most drivers like to tie in the weekend. So you're gonna work for 2 weeks, you're gonna get home on a Friday and probably try to come out of the house on a Monday. That will differ depending on your needs, your wants. Proper communication with your fleet manager is going to be key to make sure that that happens when you need it though. Next, we'll talk about a few of the different influencing factors that will determine how often you go home. First is really gonna be cost of freight that's out there right now. If you really don't need to get home for any particular reason, whether that be family or just to get out of the truck, take advantage of a good market like we have right now. Put money in the bank because we all know that winter, it slows down, freight's slower, rates drop. Take advantage of a hot market while you got one. On top of that, depending on what type of driver you are may influence that a little bit more. Being a company driver, we really do sell as an industry. 1 week out on the road, 1 day at the house. If you're an independent contractor, you might want to take advantage of the market and stay out for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then utilize that and take a week or two off. It's really up to you at that point in time what you want to do, but the importance is proper communication with your fleet manager. One of the other influencing factors is really going to be freight lanes. Every different organization within the country really has their peak areas. So really choose what trucking company you go to based on your needs for home time. If your company is based off the West Coast and you live on the East Coast, it's probably going to be a little tougher to get you home as often as you need to be. So do your research ahead of time and make sure that you're really within their hot freight market. When touching on freight lanes, it is very important that you are honest with your recruiter about how often you do want to get home. Bigger companies have certain areas where they are not hiring drivers because they know they cannot get them home to meet their home time needs. So it is very important to be upfront and honest about your home time expectations from the get-go to not cause failure for both yourself and the organization. Another large influencing factor is going to be emergencies back at home. And we do understand that your family is hundreds to thousands of miles away from you, and things do happen at the drop of a dime. It is really the organization's responsibility at that point in time to create the urgency to get you home safely as quickly as possible. Whether you're loaded or not, moving or not at that point in time, we need to make sure that you have a clear mind for not only us, but for yourself and for your family back at home. One situation that I myself encountered was a driver who was thousands of miles away from his family. He received a very unfortunate phone call from a family member explaining a situation that had occurred. And at that point in time, your mind frame is gone. You're not really sure what you're doing, you're acting in the moment. As an organization, we can't have you, don't want you to be on the road in that particular situation. We were able to find the driver a safe location to park both his truck and trailer, where they were both going to be watched and secured, and get him on a flight home as soon as possible to be home with his family. The last contributing factor that will influence how much home time you're taking is going to be things like PTO. Company drivers are considered employees, so they do accrue PTO over time, over tenure with that organization. As an independent contractor or owner-operator, your bills don't stop coming through regardless of if you're working or not. So it is very important that you are banking money away if you are taking an extended amount of home time. Just like cost of freight lanes, family emergencies, and PTO, communication is key. The further out you know, the better off you are. As an organization, we are here to both help you succeed and help you get home when you need to get home. We do understand that you are on the road away from your family for months and months out of the year, and those home times are important. The further ahead of time that you know, communicate. We do have different ways of putting that in the system so everybody really in the organization can see that to ensure that you're home when you need to be home.
It's important that you decide how often you need to be home and find carriers that align with your needs. Before you decide to quit your current carrier, I recommend you have an open conversation with your fleet manager about your options. Now that you know more about home time expectations, what should you do next? First, communicate your home time needs. Second, be honest with your recruiter and your fleet manager. And finally, read our article on the subject for more information. Thanks for tuning in for another edition of the Truck Driving Channel. We make videos like this every week. If you found this to be helpful, give the video a like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out on the road.